If you've ever felt totally overwhelmed by racing thoughts, well, you are definitely not alone. Today, we're going to dig into how the simple act of journaling can be a seriously powerful tool for finding some calm. We're using insights from Medical News Today to break it all down. Let's get right into it.
So, just how common is this feeling? Well, anxiety disorders affect 18.1% of adults in the United States. Think about that for a second. That's nearly 1 in every 5 people. This isn't some rare thing. It's a huge number of us just trying to navigate this challenge every single day.
And this right here is what anxiety can feel like, right? Your mind is just running a million miles an hour, making it feel impossible to focus or, even just function. It's that feeling of being completely and utterly trapped.
So let's start with what's actually going on in our heads. The overwhelmed mind. I mean, in this non-stop world we live in, it is incredibly easy for our thoughts and emotions to just build up and basically flood our brains.
This image just captures it perfectly, doesn't it? Paralyzing is the key word here. These racing thoughts, they're not just a little distracting. They can literally stop us in our tracks and make it tough to just go about our day.
But what if the solution wasn't some complex new technology, but something incredibly simple? This brings us to what you could call a pen and paper prescription. At its core, this is all journaling really is. It's not about writing some amazing novel or anything. It's just about the simple act of getting that chaotic noise out of your head and onto a page where you can actually make sense of it.
And this really shows you how simple the process is. Your mind is racing, right? But here's the thing. You physically cannot write as fast as you can think. So the act of writing forces you to slow down. It makes you grab onto one thought at a time, and that's how you start bringing some order to all that chaos.
Okay, so that's the idea. It sounds good. But is there any actual science to back this all up? Well, let's take a look at the proof in the pages.
And yeah, the research is pretty compelling. Journaling is linked to a whole bunch of really solid evidence-backed benefits. We're talking less distress, better moods, managing stress, but it even goes deeper. It can help you figure out what your specific anxiety triggers are and start to challenge those unhealthy thought patterns.
And get this isn't something that takes years to work. One key study from 2018 found that people saw major improvements in just 1 month. 1 month, that's a pretty powerful testament to how effective this can be.
And to really get why this works, it helps to understand this little distinction. So stress is your response to a threat, like a big deadline at work. Anxiety is your body's reaction to that stress. Journaling helps you process the stressor itself, which then helps calm down your body's anxious reaction. Makes sense, right?
And okay, this might actually surprise you. The benefits are not just mental. Studies have shown that this kind of expressive writing can have real physical effects, improving things like lung function and even blood pressure. It's a true mind-body connection.
All right, so that's the why. Now let's get into the how. We're going to walk through getting started with your very first entry. The whole goal here is to make this feel super easy and not at all intimidating.
Look, the key to making this work is consistency, not perfection. Just set aside a few minutes each day, keep a notebook or even your phone nearby so it's easy, and please remember the most important rule. There are no rules. Just do what feels right and let yourself write.
Because, let's be honest, staring at a blank page can be kind of intimidating. If you're feeling stuck, one of the absolute best ways to get the ball rolling is to just use a prompt to guide your thoughts. A fantastic, super simple starting point is gratitude. Research actually shows that focusing on what you're thankful for can build resilience and boost your well-being. Asking yourself this one little question can be a really powerful way to shift your whole perspective. Or you could go in the other direction. This prompt helps you get your stressors out in the open. By writing them down, you take them out of your head and put them on the page. This creates what psychologists call psychological distance, and it lets you look at your problems a little more objectively. And here's a great forward-looking prompt. This one encourages you to stop worrying about what might go wrong and instead actively imagine what could go right. It's a really simple way to practice reframing your thoughts.
Now, if you want a more structured approach, you can try a really powerful technique that comes from cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT. It's all about tracking your thought patterns using a simple tool called a thought record.
And here's what that looks like. It's just a simple 3-step process. You write down the situation, identify the feeling it caused, and then, and this is the important part,
You consciously challenge that initial feeling with a more balanced, alternative thought. It might seem almost too simple, but over time, doing this can actually retrain your brain's automatic reactions.
So, let's end with this. The power of journaling isn't in just thinking about it, it's in actually doing it. It doesn't have to be perfect, it doesn't have to be profound. The only question that really matters is this: what's one single thought you could write down today just to get started?